Here's another Misty Minute about traveling and cruising. To do excursions or not to do excursions? That is the question. Now, that was a big question that a lot of my friends had is, are the excursions worth it? Are they not worth it? Do I need to do excursions? If I do excursions, do I need to go through Carnival or whatever cruise line you're doing, or can I do my own? The answer to all the above is yes. Now, I chose to do excursions every day through the cruise line because, number one, first and foremost, I've seen scary movies, I can't remember the name of it, but where they go and they see that big pyramid with the flowers that talk, and I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was really scary, and the bus breaks down and they get trapped in the middle of somewhere. And for example, you're going to be on deserted islands and you definitely don't want to get trapped. Now, if you're on an excursion from the cruise line, or sponsored by the cruise line, or approved by the cruise line, no matter what happens, the cruise will wait for you to get back on the boat because they sponsored the event. Now, this only happened once on my recent cruise, not with me, thank God, but with another excursion, because I remember the captain's like, we were supposed to leave 20 minutes ago, but we're still waiting for a couple people, and they were obviously on a cruise or excursion sponsored by the cruise. But oftentimes you can get excursions half the price through local companies. A friend of mine wanted to go diving, and he researched some things on Facebook and found a good diving thing. But again, if your car breaks down, if the bus breaks down, if you get lost, if you get in a car accident, if something happens, the boat will leave you if you're not back in time. Now, another thing with time in cruising, you have to be on the boat's time. The recent group I was on was Carnival Glory, and the home base for that boat is Miami, Florida. It leaves Miami, comes back to Miami, leaves Miami, comes back to Miami. And their home time was Florida time, which was my time. So I was comfortable and perfect. But when you go to random islands, and you turn on your phone, it's not always the same time as the boat. So double check that and make sure that you're on the boat's time and not the island or local time. And the last thing I have to say about excursions is, in some destinations, it's really, really worth booking an excursion through the group. For example, we were in St. Thomas, I think it was. Yeah, we were in St. Thomas. And we did an excursion, which was basically a bus tour around the entire island. We saw every single side of the island. We went up a mountain, we got to see views, amazing. And then when we got done, we still had 3 hours to play. And some of my friends wanted to go to, I think it was called Megan's Beach, which was clear on the other side of the island from the boat. We got to see it from the mountain, and everyone's like, oh my god, we're going there. The key is, it's a $20 cab ride to Megan's Beach. It's $16 to get into Megan's Beach, and then it's a $20 cab ride back to the boat. Now, I'm not sure if you're good with math, but that's $50-some, right? Not including tip to the cab. Now, some other friends of mine, we got on the boat, they were telling me, oh my gosh, I did the Megan's Beach excursion, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, really, how much was it? It was $30. Hello, it's half the price of going by yourself. So in that instance, it's very, very much worth it. After our tour of St. Thomas, I also wanted to go swimming or snorkeling, so we actually took a cab to the nearest beach, which was not as nice as Megan's Beach, but we got in the water, we swam, we played, we kikied, we la-la'd, and then we got back on the cab and went to the boat. And it was only a $5 cab ride. So for $10, I did my own excursion to my own beach instead of doing the one that was the tourist destination. Granted, it wasn't as popular, it wasn't as big, and it probably wasn't as beautiful. This is the real question you need to ask yourself. When you go to an art museum, do you enjoy walking around at your own leisure and seeing whatever paintings you want to see and take pictures of whatever you want to take pictures of, knowing that when you go home at night or back to your hotel, you find out you missed the Mona Lisa, you didn't even know it was there, and you find out from your friends that there was a statue of David and you missed it, and there was a Leonardo da Vinci's whatever and you missed it, but you're still happy because you did your own thing? Or are you more like me, where I want the guided tour? I want someone to sit there and walk me through the museum and tell me, this is the Sistine Chapel. This is the statue of David. Leonardo da Vinci was thinking this when he created this. This is the Mona Lisa, and the reason it's so famous is because of this. That way I really feel like A, I'm seeing all the important things, and B, I'm learning what is the true story behind the true story. And all of my excursions, except for the last day, were tours on a bus, and it was awesome. And most of them, like in the Bahamas, he would stop and say, look, this is the hospital that Anna Nicole Smith gave birth to her baby in. And we're like, whoa. And I took a picture of it. It's called Doctor's Hospital. And he would actually stop and let us take pictures, and he would explain things. When I was in, where was I? Was it Puerto Rico, St. Thomas? Maybe St. Thomas. The guy that was driving the bus was speaking so fast I really couldn't understand, but he still took us to some fun places and then dumped us off so we could do our own gig. But I definitely recommend excursions. I mean, you're an international traveler now. You're on a cruise, right? Some excursions are 20, 30, 40 bucks. Some can be like upwards of 200. It just depends. Are you taking a helicopter ride around the island, or are you taking a bus tour? The last excursion I did was the only non-tour excursion I did, because it was in Grand Turk. And Grand Turk is a very, very small uninhabited island that basically Carnival turned into a port. And the only thing to do in Grand Turk is shop or swim. So there's no need to tour Grand Turk. There's really nothing to see. So I went on a snorkeling excursion, and I think it was $65. And it was awesome. I got to swim with sharks. I got to pet the sharks. I took a bunch of pictures with the shark, but I wasn't able to purchase them because as soon as we docked, I had to get in drag and do my meet and greet for my group. And I didn't even get to see them. So there's pictures of me petting sharks out there somewhere. But a friend of mine did take pictures of me holding a stingray and kissing a stingray. I might put those in here, maybe. But yeah, I definitely recommend cruising and taking excursions. You don't have to, but I would recommend it. Loving you is easy.